Hey, what is up YouTube? So today we have a project on the camper. Today we're going to clean the roof, dry it off, and then let the sun dry the rest of it off. Then after it's dry, we're going to put down some Henry's Tropicool. The reason we're doing that is because we do have, I'm assuming, some pinhole leaks that I actually have water coming in under the rubber roof. And that's where it's leaking from inside the camper. So we're going to seal up the roof, get those seals fixed, and then go from there and reassess. So I'll give you a real quick shot here of what we're going to be using to clean the roof with, and then we'll get started. All right, so this is what we got. I got a jug of Simple Green right here. So we're gonna fill that in my little Lowe's bucket. In the bucket, I have a scrub brush that we're gonna put this handle on here. So let's screw the scrub brush into that. And then we're gonna wash the roof, rinse it off, and then I'll use the leaf blower there and blow off all the water and allow the sun to dry it, and then we'll go from there. All right, so here's the roof. So what we're going to do is clean all this off. So I'll hose it off, then I'll start at the back and I'll scrub it, and then I'll hose it, and then blow it off with the leaf blower. And then once that's done, I'll have to take those two, here I'll show you, these two roof vents lids. I'll have to unscrew them so I can put the Eternabond tape back down. And then while I'm up here, I'm also going to pull this off and get a new one of them, because that could be a place where I have water intrusion as well, because as you see, it's pretty dry rotted. So that's what we're doing today. Today we're cleaning and prepping, and then depending on the time of day, once I'm done with all that, possibly we will start the reseal process, but I highly doubt it. I don't want to start it that late. But here we go. Just from walking on the roof, you can see my footprints. So yeah, it's definitely dirty. So that's why we're washing it before putting the sealant down, because we don't want to put sealant down over top of dirt, because then it won't stick right. So we'll finish hosing it off here, and then I'll get scrub brush out, and you guys will see part of the washing process, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we scrubbed a little bit here just to show you something. So I'll do a quick hose off here. So I didn't do a super great job, but I just wanted to show you something here. If you look, there's before, there's after scrubbing it. I could probably spend a little more time. What I did was, with the brush, I didn't get the most aggressive bristle I could find, because I didn't want to actually tear the rubber roof, because I don't know how bad this rubber roof really is. So I got an in-between stiffness of bristle. And then I also want to show you, see this? That's the rubber roof actually coming through the white paint, or the white sealant on top. So that's why we're doing this. That, and to help us find things like this. That's actually a slit in my roof. So that's why we want to get in there and seal that up real good so we don't get any more water intrusions. All right, back at it. Another note to point out here, this spot here is where the antenna, the crank up TV antenna laid. So my antenna is loose. So I gotta figure out what to do about that, because either something's loose inside or it's broken. So I need to figure out how to tighten it down. But in the meantime, you can see right here, there, and right there, it's dripping into my roof. So that definitely could also be a place where we're getting water intrusion. I'm not happy about that black caulking that's there, but it is what it is. Can't really do much about that. Peel it off and put more stuff. Put some white Dicor down on it later, I guess. Unless that is Dicor, it might just be black Dicor, but whatever, we'll see. No, the important thing is, if you see right here, water definitely is getting in there, so make sure that cap is covered there. But then when I feel the backside, I got a hole in this cap anyway, see? Oh, maybe not, maybe that's just the Dicor on it, but so yeah, that's where water can come in. This water can't come in here. I took that cap off just to see if the crank was spinning, because it was hard to put up. So I need to grease that as well, but just little things to take note of, that's where water could come in. And that's where we're at so far. Back to scrubbing. And that's where we started. Yeah, we should be good. I'll come back up here tomorrow. I'll do one quick rinse job, because as you see, it needs rinsed again from me climbing up and down the ladder there, you can see. So I'll re-rinse it back there. I'll re-rinse the whole thing and then re-leaf blow it, get all the water off here, let it sit in the sun for an hour. It's supposed to be nice and sunny tomorrow. And then after it sits for an hour to dry or so, we'll come up here and we will start painting on the Henry's Tropicool. So stand by for tomorrow. All right, so we talked about, when I said about doing the roof, I had to get new vents and stuff. So here's the old one. I just took it off. Should have recorded it, I know, but as you can see, it's real brittle. Just 4 screws. So I had to measure the dimensions of the hole there and then order based off of that. So here's the new one. And give me about 30 seconds. I'll put the new one on and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so as you can see, we got holes here that match up with the pegs here. Just flip that over, put it on there like that. And then I don't know if we can see under here or not. Probably not. But if you look down there, you can see those holes and the pegs match up. Sit it down on there and put the screws in it. So let's see what we got. And there we go. New one installed. All fresh and clean and white. All I gotta do is put some Dicor to cover those holes. And then completely watertight over top of the part that goes over the fridge. Like I said, there's the old one. Cracked and broken and flimsy as all get out. So that's that. All right, so here's the new antenna. There's the base. Let's go up on the roof and I'll show you what I got done. All right, so there's the hole. There's the bottom of the antenna. This camper actually had a plate here, this plastic plate sat here, and because of the slope of the roof, it's a wedge shape, so the antenna was straight when it goes up. So I gotta clean that off, gotta clean all that goop off. But here's the old antenna, and as you can see, well, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. It's not attached anymore. Should be a nut or something that goes on that, and it is no longer there. So that is why that was wobbly. And I would have no doubt that water was getting in there. But I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully that was one of my problems. So, all right, time to clean this up. Catch you guys later. Okay, so there's the initial scraping. There's the pile I scraped off. So what I was doing was I took this putty knife and I just worked it like this underneath the stuff that was on there, trying not to dig down into this and trying not to damage anything else. As you can see, there, and there, the holes have rust on them. I'm thinking water was getting down under the seal here, under this stuff, and water was getting in there. I think that's part of my problem. And then, like I said, water's coming in the top there too. So the roof here looks pretty solid. I mean, you can see it's a pretty thick roof. Pretty thick right where the roof is. So hopefully no major damage. I tucked the cable wire down in for now. I'm gonna stick a rag in this hole overnight tonight. We're not supposed to get any rain, but the rag will just keep from bugs and critters from getting in. So there we go. So that'll be good till tomorrow, because as you can see, the sun's coming down. So we'll take the plate here, yeet it. I'll clean that tomorrow, or maybe tonight. I'll leave the screws up here. I don't care. I think the new one came with new screws, and all this crap can stay up here till tomorrow. I'll bring a bag up here and throw it all in the bag so I don't get it all on the ground and stuff, so people aren't walking in it. And yeah, so that's the initial cleaning. I'll come up here with some solvent and do another quick cursory wipe across all this to get some of this other stuff off. But I'm gonna have butyl tape all the way around here anyways. I did notice, let me see if I can find it. I kind of smeared over it, but yeah, let's see, right here, where'd it go? Right there, it's got a slit in it, and that's a nice straight slice. So I am 99% positive that wasn't from me with my scraper knife, because I was running it this direction, not, you know, the edge was out here and out here my fingers are, so not right here along this edge. So that could be part of my problem too, like I said. But I mean, you look, I got all kinds of, there's a little gash there, there's a little gash right there. All through this roof there's little marks like that, so water can be getting in anywhere. And of course there's the fridge vent that I replaced, so that helps too. Every little bit helps. So all right, time to get down off this roof and get some supper, and we'll climb back up here tomorrow morning when it's not so hot, continue cleaning this, and maybe tomorrow we'll get the antenna installed. All right, so we got everything up here on the roof. Here's that plate we were talking about. I just slid the cable through it, put the plate on there like that, and it sits on there nice and smooth. Now that's not going to be on there yet, because I still have to put the butyl tape between here and here, but just so I know which way the plate's got to go when we sit here on the thing. So I got the cable adapter here. This comes from the antenna. This is going into the cable that goes down through the roof. So I just use a Canon plug, put that on there like that. Okay, so that is good. Tuck that back down in the roof hole. Have to shove it down in there a little further later, but it's all good. And then yeah, go from there. So let me put the butyl tape down and I'll show you what we're gonna do there. All right, so I screwed up and I forgot to show you. I did the outline here. You'll see I have some left over here, but we'll just trim that off once we're done, and then I'll seal this up with the butyl, or with the other seal tape I have. So I put that plate on, I pressed it down into place. It is centered on the hole down there. So then we're going to put the butyl tape around here, and we'll sit this down on there using the screws to line the screw holes up, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's get started. All right guys, so there we go. There it is, fully installed. All the screws are screwed back in. I used the originals that were there. only because the new ones would have been too short to go down into the roof. Like you can see, it's just sitting there, and it's literally right at the edge, so they weren't long enough to go in there. So I just went ahead and used the old hardware. Not a big deal. The old screws were fine. This one was a little rusty, but they all snugged down fine. All that's left now is I'll get some self-leveling Dicor, and I'll run a bead along all these, so then it'll flatten out across there. And then I'll get I'll peel off all this stuff here after this has had a chance to sit down. I'll come back up and I'll retighten it here in a little bit after I make sure everything's good, and we'll put the antenna on. Okay, so the antenna is installed up there. All I gotta do is Dicor around the bolts and then seam seal it after I peel some of the extra butyl tape off. And we come down here and we go in the camper where we installed this. So this was simple. All I had to do was, I didn't have to, but I took the old arrow port off this, took that off the ceiling because it's kind of yellowed a little bit here on the edge and stuff. Put the new one up, put the new hand wheel up through, put the, oh no, there was another task that I had to do. So the shaft actually was all the way down here, so the handle was here, so it didn't spring up against that. So you had to cut the shaft to size. I don't know if I cut it small enough or not, but basically what happens is you pull this down like this, and then you rotate the antenna to the direction you want it. All right, so roof project. We installed the antenna like I told you we're going to, and I used the butyl tape under the antenna base and under the antenna itself onto the base. And now I just Dicored the crap out of around it, around the antenna. And you might be able to see it, but all the way down there, I put goops where all the screw holes were for the four corners there for the new fridge vent. So between these three things, radio antenna, TV antenna, and the roof vent, I just went through an entire tube of Dicor self-leveling lap sealant. Now, those of you that have used Dicor know that that's not really a lot, but it is a lot because I really didn't do a whole lot. So we're looking at, I think these tubes cost me $13 a tube. So between that and there is $13 worth of sealant. I have 2 more tubes to do the roof vents and the sunroof, or the sunlight there, whatever you want to call that, sunroof, I don't know. And then I'll probably use it on the corners all the way down there. You can see the corner caps. There's a piece there. There's one over there at the very edge of the sunroof, sunlight, skylight, that's the word I was looking for. See, why don't you guys help me out with that? It's a skylight. But there at the left corner edge of the skylight, you'll see a cap that goes down around the edge of the camper in the corner. There's one over there, so I'll probably use the sealant on that. The 2 roof vents there. Oh yeah, and I forgot about the actual vents. Those are my gray tank vents and black tank vent. So we'll seal around them too. Alright, so that is sealed around each one of these. And what I did was I lifted these brackets up and I put the gun under there and it came backwards, and then did that all the way around. So now you got the TV antenna, that, the radio antenna, the skylight, both tank vents, both roof vents, and then I did, even though it's covered, water still runs from the roof off, so I did all the way around underneath the roof vent as well, the fridge vent. So 4 vents, 2 tank vents, and 2 antennas all sealed. That took 3 tubes of caulking. Once it has time to self-level itself out, we'll come back up here and I'll show you what they look like. I'm no artist. I'm no perfectionist when it comes to stuff you can't see, like on the roof, because I really don't care. Okay guys, so that is after 2 hours of sitting, everything is kind of leveled out. Highly doubt it's going to level out much more than that. So, alright. All that's left to do is those corner caps right here that we were talking about. Stupid focus. And then put the sealant down. Alright, so it's finally the day to put this roof coating stuff on. It's going to be about 88 degrees today. Not calling for rain for like 2 days. So I shouldn't have any problems getting this done today. As you see, we did all the seams with Dicor there. And I am going to go over that with the roof coating as well as an extra layer. Same thing back there. Antenna, Dicor on everything. Like I told you earlier, I'm no artist when it comes to putting Dicor down. It's down, it's thick, and the stuff here, all but those back corner and the front seal have been on here for weeks. The front and back seals have been on there for about 36 hours, so we're good there. And already came up here and used the leaf blower and blew off all the loose stuff. I got the towel there. I'm gonna wipe the area back and forth before I start painting it, and then we'll go from there. All right, so there we go, all the way around the edge. I got a seam. I got down along the edge here, down here in this area too. So, and then all the way around all these vents, around the air conditioner, I got under as far as I could with the paintbrush. So now it's time to start rolling it on. All right guys, so there is one solid coat done all the way around the ladder, all the way. Now we'll wait for about 2 hours, and I'll come up here, see if it's tacky or if it's able to be walked on, and we'll do a second coat. So, not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, so there is 2 full coats. Completely done. Now just to let it sit and dry. And then when we're done, I'll put the little covers that go over the roof vents back there back on. And then I am done on this roof. Let me get down here and see if I can get close enough to show you. That's what it looks like. It's not wet, it's tacky still a little bit, but so that's what it's gonna look like when it's completely done. Not bad. Not bad at all. So total for this roof seal was 6 tubes of Dicor, self-leveling lap sealant. That was for all of the vents, for the fridge vent there, a new fridge vent, the antenna, a new antenna, and around that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Dicor for around 8 different things on the roof. Plus I Dicored the corners and across the back. And then I Dicored from this seal to this seal and down around the edge a little bit. So 6 tubes of Dicor, and it took about, rough guess, 4 gallons of that 5-gallon bucket. 5-gallon bucket of that was $600, like $5.90 something. And then the Dicor was, I got it for $11.70 something a tube. So you do the math. The antenna was $200. The roof vent, I'd have to look. I want to say, I think I spent like $30 or $40 on that. And that's it. That's what this roof project cost. I'll try to sit down and put a total cost comparison on the end of this video for you if I can find all the receipts and stuff. So, but there we go. This project is done.